All right, welcome back to another episode of the Black Bullion Show. Gold and silver hold on tight as equities surge. Now, this is even amidst rising Roni cases. So, what exactly is causing the rise in equities? It's a bit of a mystery here. I'll let you know shortly, but first, if you're new to this channel, please hit that big red subscribe button right down below. Also, please hit the like button. It helps to get this economic evangelism right on out there to the masses. So let's get started, guys. So, gold seems to be, firmly planted around that, 1770 area. Silver's kind of dancing around in the high 17s, but they're both kind of fighting against a stronger dollar today. So let's take a look at the DXY. DXY right now is surging here. And it's shooting up, and yesterday it was actually kind of trending a little bit downward. But yeah, we're now at 97.58 for the DXY. So let's take a look at some of the details. Let's see who the dollar's fighting against today. So today, the dollar is gaining a bit on the euro. It's taking fewer dollars now. It's starting to trend downward to get a euro. Let's take a look at the Japanese yen. Same kind of trajectory here for the Japanese yen. Let's take a look at the Swiss franc. Same trajectory for the Swiss franc. Let's take a look at the loonie, the Canadian dollar. Same thing. Here's the pound sterling. And here's the Swedish krona. Probably one of the only that seems to be kind of gaining some steam on the dollar, though there is like a little bit of a drop here towards towards the recent time. So, what exactly is going on here? Why is the dollar rising? Well, we got some new economic data today. We got the U.S. pending home sale index. Now, I'm going to read this definition, and it's going to explain why the dollar is rising. The National Association of Realtors, NAR, pending home sales report measures the change in the number of homes under contract to be sold, but still waiting the closing transaction, excluding new construction. A higher than expected number should be taken as a positive to the US dollar, while a lower than expected number as negative. So, did we get some higher than expected numbers? Well, let's take a look here. May tanked at 69, and then we surged this time around to 99.6. So, obviously the dollar is looking pretty good by extension of the positive numbers that came out with the pending home sales. So that's one of the reasons why we're seeing a stronger dollar kind of putting the pause a bit on gold and silver. But honestly, it's not shaking the metals up too much, as you guys saw previously. So let's take a look at the Dow. So the Dow, as you can see here, was plunging pretty much right before 10 a.m. And then right around 10 a.m., you start to see some positivity and some upward trajectory as we got the numbers for the pending home sales, which came out around 10 a.m. So we're seeing some temporary strength right now in the dollar and also in the markets. Now, why exactly do I say it's temporary? Well, because these pending home sales are likely from upper income individuals, i.e., the majority of people who are not impacted by layoffs. Check this out. So this article is titled, "This Depressing Chart Shows the Impact of the Current State of Property Market on Home Buyers of All Ages." Now, this was written in December 9th of 2019, but the sentiment of what I'm going to show you still holds. The average annual income of home buyers has increased to over $93,000 in the wake of the affordability crisis, according to the NAR. That's well above the national median income of 61,937. So basically, the people who are buying homes right now are in the upper tier of society. Let's take a look at who's been impacted by the economic fallout of the Ronies. It's lower income adults. They've been hit harder. Um, Economic fallout of Roni case of from the Ronies is hitting lower income adults harder. Percent saying they or some in their household has lost a job or taken a pay cut due to the outbreak. 32% of upper income, 42% of middle income, 52% of lower income. The percent who say they cannot pay all of their bills in full. Upper income, 7%. Middle income, 9%. Lower income, 44%. Now, this is in a typical month. In that TAN, let's take a look down here. They have rainy day funds that would cover their expenses for 3 months in case of emergency. 75% of upper income people do, 48% of middle income people do, only 23% of lower income people do. So these numbers are pretty telling, but let's take a look at a specific case. This is in Colorado. This actually came out today. Senator Elizabeth Warren introduces nationwide eviction moratorium bill, and you're about to find out why. So I'm just going to read this quick highlighted piece here. It starts. Desiree Kane, an organizer with Colorado Rent Strike and Eviction Defense, says her neighbors are fearful. Many have lost jobs or wages, and bills are piling up. Mostly the Colorado Rent Strike and Eviction Defense is a support group for people, she said, who come in and they're like, oh my God, my entire world is crumbling around me. What do I do? Colorado, like many other states and cities, implemented a temporary eviction moratorium in March to prevent people from losing their homes during the Ronies. But the state's moratorium expired on June 13th, though Governor Jared Polis issued a last-minute emergency order that required landlords to give tenants more notice about evictions, effectively delaying many evictions for another 30 days. It was a reprieve, but a temporary and incomplete one. Again, the word temporary shows up. This is the grim reality facing vulnerable renters in Colorado and across the U.S. Emergency eviction moratoriums are beginning to run out, and housing courts are starting to reopen. The policies that allowed renters unable to pay their bills to stay, I guess they should just stay in their homes, are ending. So this is essentially what we have here. We have the classic case of a tale of two cities. If you let the Dow Jones tell the story, it's a good time had by all, essentially, where people are buying up homes like gangbusters. I mean, I even spoke to a friend yesterday who just recently sold his home with his wife about a couple of weeks ago. He told me yesterday that they received over $20,000 over their asking price. And while that is happening on, for the majority of, lower income, middle income people, things are not, not as fortunate of an experience. People are worried that they're going to get evicted, and what have you. So currently, in the way that I see it, Main Street, and honestly by extension, the whole economy, is on life support with these temporary programs. Now, if these programs are not extended, we're going to have a huge problem in this country. But time will tell. So guys, that's your Monday. That's why you're seeing a rise in the dollar. I hope you guys have a great start to your week. Um, Gonna say it again. Thanks again for getting this channel to 1,000 subscribers. Please hit the like button. Also, please hit the subscribe button if you're new. It's Black Bullion.